Hello, this is my review of Blendspace Next. Alright, let's begin with the homepage. Blendspace Next has a simple homepage with key starter features that serve as the launching point for the application. From left to right, these features include the ability to access all their classes, in addition to being able to add new ones. Within each selected class, there is an option to add lessons, edit those already created, and delete lessons that are no longer needed. In addition to these features, teachers also have the ability to track students' progress through a lesson, view their class roster, and edit their class info. I appreciate the power in simplicity here. The page is not cluttered, and it is easily navigated because of concise labeling of the features. Creating lessons. I like that there are plus symbols throughout this application for options that add something. I think it is a good non-linguistic cue that draws a user's attention. Especially for novice users, this subtle design feature is nice for feeling their way around the process of adding and generating content. When initially learning the application myself, I found that I was quickly scanning for plus symbols to progress through the lesson creation process. To put it simply, it's a really intuitive design feature. Clicking on Add Lesson will take us to the lesson building interface. Once again, the user will get more guidance, directing them towards the starting point of building concepts for the lesson. Now to build out some concepts. Concepts are the core feature of Blendspace Next. They have three main components to them: Essentials, an evaluation quiz, and a Master section. In the Essentials section, scrolling over the plus box will reveal a message that says, "Add resources here," that every student will see. This is just another good guiding element for teachers learning to use the application. Clicking on the plus box will reveal three options for adding resources: adding a web page, adding text, or uploading an object. The main purpose and the main power of this area is being able to pull resources from all across the web and stuff that teachers create on their own computers and be able to house it all within one cohesive learning module. Now let's explore these three resource options a little more carefully. Adding a web page allows the teacher to essentially create a shortcut icon to a specific URL. Drop the URL in the box, and you can directly guide students to this particular website to illustrate a concept. In the upload feature, the first thing a teacher will see is the ability to drag and drop or browse to find files on their computer that they would like to add as resources. Lots of common file extensions for documents, images, video, and audio are supported here. In addition to uploading local files, a teacher can choose to import media from Flickr, Picasa, Instagram, Evernote, and Box. If a teacher knows that they want an image, but they do not have a specific one in mind, they can conduct an image search within the upload interface itself, saving time. A teacher even has the option to record a new video or take a picture right here, right now. More convenience. The text editor will allow the teacher to build their own learning resource. The text editor by itself is by no means an extremely powerful text editor, but it does have options for pasting from a Word document, or remember that the teacher is always able to upload a document that they've created on their own computer. So there's many options depending on the teacher's comfort level and preference. This is one example of the flexibility of Blendspace Next. Teachers have many different options for creating similar products, and it interfaces well with whatever tech tool set the teacher has coming in. Whatever they want to use to create products, whether it's in Blendspace Next or if they create it someplace else and import it, Blendspace Next has the ability to accommodate the design preferences of the teacher. The real power of the text feature is the ability to blend different medias within one resource for students and/or to add web-based resources which may not be directly supported by Blendspace Next. In order to do this, a teacher can use the source code feature of the text editor. This element really caters to the advanced users in customizing the look, feel, and function of the resources they build. So how does it look when students interact with these resources? A really nice feature is that Blendspace opens up all the resources inside its own internal browser. This focuses students on the resource at hand. There is an instructions option for each resource that allows the teacher to add specific instructions that students should focus on as they interact with the resource. Along the top of the browser window is a toolbar that can allow the student to mark assignments as complete. I envision that this can help a student keep track of their own progression if they happen to leave a session midstream and return at a later time. The Show Map option allows students to navigate through the different resources and elements within the concept. This will allow them to interact with the resources in an order that they see fit, another personalizing element. They can revisit the instructions whenever they need to, and they can return to the main page of the concept by hitting this back button. An evaluation quiz is the next component that students interact with after visiting the essential resources. Quizzes can be made up of a combination of multiple choice or short answer questions. The math equation option makes it possible to format an equation for a student to answer. The teacher can set the number of right answers that are needed to pass the quiz at the bottom left of the quiz builder. The Masters section functions in a similar way to the Essentials section. However, it is only revealed to a student if they do not pass the evaluation quiz. This is a great differentiation feature that offers a more personalized learning experience. Now let's turn our attention towards the right-hand toolbar. It has a variety of features that can be used to build out concepts. A teacher can enter in a search criteria up at the top here. Then they can explore Google search results that might be useful. The same thing applies for YouTube, Vimeo, EduCreations, Guru, and to pull files from their Dropbox or Drive. Teachers can identify resources that might be useful without having to tab out their browsers or perform the same search multiple times. Search results include a title, preview image, and a sample of text for each resource. Clicking on a resource will bring the full thing up in a browser in order to investigate it further. Resources can be added from the right-hand toolbar by simply dragging and dropping it to a desired location. The last option at the teacher's disposal is a Common Core search that allows K-12 math and literacy standards to be tagged to each lesson. The workflow becomes really efficient, and parts can work independently and can be switched around a lot. Multiple concepts within the lesson can be open at the same time. The teacher can choose to see or hide the details of concepts accordion style by using this up arrow button. The order of concept progression can be switched around easily just by dragging and dropping. Resources can also be moved around within a concept and also between concepts. Tracking and reporting student progress. From the home screen and at the top left of every lesson editor page, there is a track option that when clicked reveals this tracking chart. The tracking chart allows instructors to monitor the progression of students throughout the lesson. Here we see the progression of just one student, Gary Harris, which makes up the entire roster for this easily managed class of 1. When clicking on a student's name, a progress report becomes accessible. Here the teacher can review the progress and performance of an individual student. I think teachers will appreciate seeing how students performed on their first attempt, and if they didn't pass, being able to see if there has been any growth on their subsequent attempts. Something that would be a really powerful feature here, and I don't know if I'm unable to access it because I only have one student on my roster, or if it's still in development, or simply not there, but something that would be a really powerful feature is the ability to view aggregate assessment data of all the course members. It would be a really powerful tool for instructional decision-making purposes. For instance, let's say that a teacher notices that the majority of students are failing their initial attempt on one of the evaluation quizzes, but on average, scores seem to vastly improve on the second attempt. The teacher could decide to move some of the mastery material into the essentials section of the lesson. The next time the course is taught, the teacher can compare data sets between the different groups of students to see if the average performance on the initial attempt improved. From what I can see, there looks like there's a good structure in order to monitor and track individual progress of students. But to track progress as a whole as an indicator of teacher performance, to be used as a tool to inform instructional design, I think that the current performance tracker in Blendspace Next that is available to me at this point does not offer this functionality. This concludes my review of Blendspace Next. Thanks for watching.